This is the Simulation Football League, presented by 8 p.m. Music on Twitch. Though the Baltimore Vultures' perfect season bid has ended, they still have an opportunity to wrap up the Atlantic Division tonight as they take on the Tulsa Desperados, who are chasing a divisional crown as well. Good evening, folks, and welcome into Sports Gamers Online Stadium. I'm Tyler Falk alongside my partner Brett Solberg. We are delighted you could join us this Sunday evening as we conclude the penultimate week of the SFL regular season with this exciting clash between Tulsa and Baltimore. Brett, with what's at stake for both clubs, my biggest question is this: how will Baltimore respond to that gut punch in St. Paul 2 weeks ago, and will Tulsa be able to exploit the same weaknesses displayed in that contest?
Wait, hold on a second. What kind of steak are we talking about? Are we talking deep fried? Are we talking just a regular steak, a medium rare? Oh, wait, no. I got it. We're talking about a different kind of steak. The stakes of this game for Tulsa here, because they're still on the outside looking in, and they want to get themselves into the playoff hunt. For Baltimore, this has got to be the turnaround week. They had their bye week. They're going into these last two games trying to chase London for the top spot in the league. There is a very, very, very slim chance that Baltimore can still get the 1 seed and over top London. But coming off a loss here, they need to pick themselves back up. Can Tulsa bring Baltimore down to 2 in a row here tonight? We'll see if that happens.
And if Tulsa are able to come up with a win, it'd be the first time in 25 home games that Baltimore would have suffered a loss. Aerial cover today's game is brought to you by Dag's DroneWorks Aerial Photography and Videography Services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com as Tulsa will kick us off to get underway here this evening as here we go. Ivory Irvin back deep to return for Baltimore. Takes one step deep in his own end zone. Makes a nice spin move and then is eventually tackled by Oren Romo at the 22-yard line. And the Baltimore offense is led, of course, by all-star Jack Whitmore.
Yeah, and Wigmore hasn't had, the season that he's had, in the past where he's had over 4,000 passing yards. But the big thing for him is that he has been efficient. He hasn't thrown a lot of interceptions, only 18 this season, and that's how Baltimore's gotten to this 9-1 record.
Start off in the gun with trips to Wigmore's right. He'll fire over the middle, caught for a first down to begin festivities here as Wigmore finds Daly Holder, and we'll start to introduce you to the rest of that Baltimore offense. Warren Murray is the tailback with T. Roy Gaines at fullback. Ivory Irvin, Daly Holder, and Mac Cheemer are the wideouts with DJ Bandit and Graham Jr. at tight end. After spreading the field with 4 wide, they go into a heavy eye here on the second play of the drive. Handoff Murray through the middle, only able to get 2 as he stuffed after gaining those 2 yards to the 35-yard line.
And you want to talk about domination in the Baltimore front. Let's talk about that running back, Warren Murray. Since signing mid-season with Baltimore, 16 regular season games, 1,560 yards, and 17 touchdowns. He has been a force of nature for the Vultures.
Let's see if that continues here tonight. Wigmore going to take a deep 7-step drop, passes near side, and he overthrew his intended target on the near sideline.
Yeah, and Tulsa's kryptonite this season has been the passing defense. They are dead last in the league. They allow nearly 350 yards of passing to their opponents each game. If they're going to get successful and get that 7th win of the season and join that whole group of people that have 7 wins already this season, they need to shore up that passing defense tonight.
Empty backfield, Wigmore under center with 4 wideouts. Quick drop pass over the middle. Will find Lloyd Graham Jr., the tight end over the middle for another Vulture first down.
Yeah, and what makes this Baltimore passing offense so daunting to face is that spread of wealth. If you take away Warren Murray's 66 receptions, you still have 4 receivers with 40 or more receptions coming into tonight with Irvin, Holder, Chima, and Graham Jr.
Offset eye handoff, Murray right side, trying to break contain by the middle linebacker, Miles Gibson. Cannot. Great tackle from Gibson. Let's introduce you to the rest of that Tulsa defense. Chris Andrews, Mike Mello, Jaden Swift, and Bertel Demora are the defensive linemen with David Ware, Miles Gibson. Philadelphia Collins at linebacker, Nate Heslip, Skinny Washington, and Cameron Shaw are the corners, with Marco Swift and Travis Arthur at the safety spots. 2nd and 10 here for the Vultures. Wigmore over the middle, caught another first down for Baltimore as they cross midfield, get inside Tulsa territory to the 38.
Yeah, and Baltimore is really figuring out that the passing game is probably going to be their key to success against this Tulsa squad, because even though they have a very paltry, a very poor passing defense, their running defense is almost top 5 in the league. So it hasn't been a lot of touches to Murray yet, but we should expect one here.
7th play of the drive. Handoff will go to Murray through the middle, and he is sandwiched only after picking up a yard by David Ware.
Yeah, and that's a prime example of that. Tulsa knows where the running back is going to be. A lot of those runs up the gut usually get stuffed by either one of the defensive linemen or a linebacker that comes in. That usually happens to be Miles Gibson coming in on that rush attempt.
Holding Murray to minimal yardage on the ground so far here to begin festivities. Pass far side is an ill-advised pass from Wigmore, nearly into the arms of Cameron Shaw.
That's a great one-on-one coverage from Shaw as well, facing a guy like Mac Chima, who can be that deep threat for Baltimore at times. Usually I see Ivory Irvin be the man on that deep threat, but on a one-on-one battle, usually you think that wide receiver is going to win that matchup, but a great job staying on pace is Cameron Shaw.
Now Tulsa will play bump coverage on those 4 wide receivers here on 3rd and 9. Slants pattern over the middle, caught with a little bit of room to go is the tight end Graham Jr., and Baltimore will continue to move the chains.
Yeah, and all slants, it has to be probably the toughest formation to play for a defense at any point, because you've got 4 receivers that are going to slant themselves forward, and you got to be ready for that change of direction right away. One of the receivers are going to be open guaranteed, and most of the time it's either the wide receiver on the far right side or the near man, that tight end, and that's what happened. Lloyd Graham got himself open for the first down.
2 catches for Lloyd Graham Jr. on the day, both resulting in 10 or more yards and first downs for both of them. Wigmore, swing pass right side for Murray. Murray going to be taken out by Shaw for picking up 5.
Yeah, and right now, Baltimore is really taking their time here to go down the field, and this is what they love to do. Dominate time of possession. They know that if they dominate the ball time, that they will win games absolutely. So if they continue going down this way, they're almost 4 minutes into this possession already. So it's just been fantastic work from Baltimore all around.
2nd and 5. That'll get one of the defensive linemen to jump off sides. Wigmore fires far side, caught. It'll be a first down either way, as Lloyd Graham Jr. will haul in the catch beyond the marker. Going down to RC2 for the first time today to see what Baltimore will decide to do with this penalty.
Yeah, it was Berto Demora on the right side of the defense, just happening to jump himself just a little bit, as Baltimore is going to take probably the extra yard out of that, as now they're going to be placed at the 11-yard line. And yeah, same thing as I said last time. Baltimore doing a fantastic job just moving down the field. They're not really going for the deep shot. They're just trying to nickel and dime themselves and see what Tulsa gives them defensively.
1st and 10 on the 12th play of the drive here for Baltimore. Wigmore under pressure, fires back corner of the end zone, and Shaw again on an identical looking play to the one he nearly picked off earlier. Again will fall incomplete. Gotta have those if you want to pin the impetus onto Baltimore.
Yeah, we all know the phrase, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And that is the second time that it's happened. So Cameron, you've got to get your hands set straight here. That's a key interception to grab in this early stage of the game.
Empty backfield, Wigmore under center, quick drop, slant pattern over the middle, and Lloyd Graham Jr. cannot come up with a catch. Hit him in the chest protector, and ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, and that issue there with that slants play is that there was a lot of defenders and even offensive players in the vicinity of that throw, so it was going to end up being just a hodgepodge of players trying to grab the football, and I think Graham was a little bit too worried about getting hit instead of catching the football, and that was the difference there between a catch and an incompletion.
4 minutes, 34 seconds already taken off of the clock here on Baltimore's opening possession. 3rd down. Wigmore looking back corner of the end zone, and that one is also nearly picked off. Nate Heslop can't hold that one in, though it will result in a 4th down. Baltimore's field goal unit will come out of the field. And I think the main difference from that drive compared to the Minnesota game, partner, is Minnesota came up with those turnovers.
Yeah, and that's the big thing right now early on that we see right there is that Tulsa has had 3 opportunities to pick off Jack Wigmore, and they've fallen into the ground instead of the hands of the defenders. We saw Shaw twice, and now Nate Heslop couldn't get his hands on that football.
Tarkington 28 yards out, snap spot, kick is up, and it is good, and Baltimore do get on the board on a very lengthy drive. 15 plays, 62 yards, and it results in an opening score for the home team. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website, simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Tarkington will put his boot through the ball, and we're underway once again. First return of the game for Gabriel Manning. Manning's going to get this one all the way out to the 23-yard line. And that'll see us introduce JQ, the signal caller for Tulsa.
Yeah, and JQ, again, not one of the guys that is super flashy out there, but he has been, efficient enough for this Tulsa team to, get to the 6-4 record. He hasn't had to play pretty because Douglas Brown has been the main guy to get those yards and touchdowns for the Desperados.
And not playing pretty. 2 interceptions and a touchdown, but we can go in the win versus Charleston. He goes to the air here on the first play of the drive, and it's a nice pass to DJ Hume, and that'll get Tulsa moving.
Yeah, and I think going into this latter part of the season, Tulsa's want to establish more of the passing game and kind of show these teams that they're not a one-trick pony, that they don't trust on Douglas Brown despite his 1,076 yards coming into this game here. So JQ might get some more attempts throughout this game like he did the 35 times against Charleston.
One single high safety here on first down. Sidearm throw. Nice catch from Hume. He paid the price. Did he ever? Over the middle to pick up those 8 yards.
And the toughest thing to do on a one-handed catch is to secure that football. And it makes it even tougher when you get hit after the catch as well. So fantastic work from DJ Hume to secure that, keep it in his hip essentially to get to the ground and secure that catch.
Second and short from near midfield. Handoff to Douglas Brown. He finds a hole through the offensive line and will pick up the first down at midfield.
Yeah, and we've seen a great progression of just awareness from Douglas Brown going to his second season in this league, and we see now a much smarter Douglas Brown than we saw in week 1. He definitely knows where to run that football. He knows where his offensive linemen give gaps, and that's the difference between week 1 and now week 13.
End of the box for Baltimore. 2 wide off to the right here for JQ. Q looking left side, deflected by the linebacker Alvin Mack. Comes away to knock that one aside. Let's introduce you to the Tulsa Desperados offense. Douglas Brown to the tailback with Justin Williams at fullback. Sanzo Robinson, Corey Jones, DJ Hube, Gabriel Manning are the wide receivers with Jim Copeland Jr. the tight end. Phoebe Collins and Will Stevens man the right tackle and left tackle spots respectively. And it's second down from midfield after the incomplete pass. 3 wide here for JQ, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. 3-3 nickel out of the Vultures. Q under pressure, fires left side of the out route. Caught by Hume. We've seen him get his name called early and often here on this opening drive here for Tulsa. Already his 3rd reception.
Yeah, and you have to think from the Baltimore side, they're really trying to focus on either Gabriel Manning or probably Corey Jones throughout this game, because those are the 2 top wide receivers that really Hugh looks for throughout this game. So it's leaving DJ Hume open, and that's how he's got his 3rd reception in this game for nearly 30 yards.
3rd and short now here for Tulsa. They're going to go to the air. Pass near side, and it looked like that play needed a little bit more time to get going. As Warfield's in the vicinity, he'll knock it aside, and it brings up 4th down.
And Warfield is one of those guys where he could have double-digit interceptions this season if he didn't have, those hands. He's got now 15 pass deflections this season, among the top of the league, and only 6 interceptions to call for it. So if he would have grabbed that, that could have been pick 6 territory.
Ismail Farouk is the punter for Tulsa. It's a nice high punt. Corralled inside the 5, but they're going to say that they walked out of bounds. That's Paula Rebello. The on the hands team coverage, not the greatest work. Pat McAfee would not be impressed.
No, he would have went to his Instagram feed and said something to criticize that man. He's very brash and outgoing of a person, but I would agree with that because quick turnaround, and that could have been instead of the 20, they started at the 5
from the 20-yard line. T-Roy Gaines gets his number called for the first time tonight. The fullback, former tailback, is stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good old Philadelphia Collins with that tackle to kind of stop things. And that's what Tulsa does very good with that run defense, is that they bring the linebackers in on the pass rush to get to those running backs, regardless of who it goes to.
Wigmore over the middle. Hot by Daly Holder. That'll pick up 8 yards for the wide receiver.
Yeah, and this is what Baltimore, I think, needs to continue doing, is just give it to Jack Wigmore and have him throw it down the field, because Tulsa hasn't really had a response to these mid routes, and a lot of these 5 to 9 yard routes, they end up being easy completions for Wigmore and company.
Had a couple of close calls, did Wigmore and the Vultures, and a couple passing plays earlier in the ball game. They'll go a swing pass near side for Murray, and Murray spins out of a would-be tackler and will pick up the 1st down yardage.
Yeah, and just going back to that point that you referred to, that was when Wigmore was throwing it deep. It looks like Tulsa, has found ways to, stop them from the deep pass. But nonetheless, on this play here, just a simple dump off to Murray, and you can trust him to get that 1st down.
5 wide receivers here on another 1st down for Baltimore. Wigmore going to look to throw. Deep shot near side, and it's deflected away by Heslop. And it's just as you said, partner. The deep ball isn't working, especially on those sideline routes.
Yeah, and it's the 4th time that we've seen in this quarter that they've went deep either to Irvin or Chima at this point. And right now, the defensive backs know where to, at least place their hands on the football for deflections, and that's what's resulted in those deep passes not being completed.
2nd and 10, 4 tight end look out of Baltimore here on 2nd down. They're going to go with a screenplay right side for Murray, and it doesn't work out for him as Cameron Shaw comes down and takes away the route being run by Murray.
And that was just a quick corner pursuit from the Tulsa defense led by Cameron Shaw, just focusing on whoever was going to grab that football. Seeing it was going to be a dump pass, he just went to the running back right away and got that 1 yard loss.
Up coverage here from the DBs. Wigmore going to look near side, and it's
nice
again. Or Heslop, taking it away. And it's a 4th down for Baltimore. They went back to the same play, and it just hasn't been working for him, partner. Those go routes not working.
That deep ball has just not been happening in this quarter. And again, Nate Heslop gets, I think, his 3rd pass deflection of this game already. Most players desire to get 2 in a game, let alone 3, and it's been all through the deep pass. So Tulsa has done their homework here tonight.
On comes Matty Coffins. Try and punt this one away. Gabriel Manning from about his 30-yard line. Stutters steps, and it's a return of about 3 yards for Manning. Back up to the 33-yard line. So Tulsa's offense will take over. Let's introduce you to the Baltimore defense. Nate Brown, Joe Duncan, Al Walker, Sir Ron Yates IV are the defensive linemen. Frank Smith, Alvin Mack, Devin King, the linebackers. Benzo Bolt, Marvin Himes, Van Stack and Paper, Elijah Warfield, the corners, with Troy Lowshot and Giovanni Bolt at safety. JQ doesn't see what he likes from the Baltimore defense. Changes the play up at the line in the eye. We'll go back to throw, swing pass near side for Douglas Brown. Brown gets past one defender, completely gassed Frank Smith, but oh no. Douglas Brown,
That's not
very slow to get up. This is
good.
a very concerning sight for Tulsa.
No, that's not good because Douglas Brown is your main guy. He gets you yards in any way possible, and if he's down, they're gonna have to resort to a lot of different means. They're gonna have to start relying on King Jack Washington maybe to carry some more. Maybe get Justin Williams a little bit more involved than his one carry this season. And maybe throw it deep. You've got Gabriel Manning. He is the highest paid receiver in the SFL. And it might be time to utilize him down the field.
See what happens. They come off in a power eye here on 2nd and short with Washington in the backfield. They're going to go with a very awkward running play. It seemed they tried to run maybe a counter, but everyone got mixed up in the backfield, giving plenty of time for Frank Smith to get there and take down Washington.
Yeah, and in a situation like this, Baltimore has to be thinking to themselves that they need to beast and feast on this situation. They're leading the league in tackles for loss with 86. Get that. Now they get one more on the list after that play.
Lost 2 on 2nd down, 3rd and 4. Brown or Q under a whole lot of pressure. Wow. Able to find Jim Copeland Jr. somehow after Baltimore sent the blitz, and Tulsa keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, and we're talking about a Baltimore team that's also leading the league in sacks coming into this week with 33, with Suron Yates having 10.5 of his own. And that's just straight composure from JQ to, get himself outside the pocket, wait for someone to get open, and then throw it to his tight end in Copeland Jr.
Q over the middle, picked off! He tried to find Corey Jones. Instead, he finds a defender. It's Troy Loshaw.
And this is another bright spot of the Baltimore defense. 3rd in the league in interceptions with 32, and now have their second player with 6 interceptions in this season with Troy Loshaw. They've got Enzo Bolt with 7, Elijah Warfield with 6, and Giovanni Bolt and Ben Stackenpaper with 5. It's just a balanced effort on this defensive back set, and you said it. It was going straight to Corey Jones, and it finds it straight in the hands of Troy Loshaw instead.
And so Baltimore will take over in plus territory from the Tulsa 39. I formation behind Wigmore, handoff Murray through the middle, and for one of the few times this season, Murray has not had a whole lot of room to run this quarter. Philadelphia Collins has been always in the vicinity of Murray tonight.
Yeah, and, Warren Murray coming off a pretty dismal game himself last week, just 52 yards on 11 carries, and you have to think from Baltimore's side, they want to get Murray going so they don't have to trust Wigmore all the time in passing the football.
No gain on the run. Handoff will go to T-Roy. T-Roy through the middle. T-Roy trains will pick up 7 on 2nd down.
Yeah, that's just, a good job from the offensive line just to split the gap open on that middle right side to get that opening for T-Roy.
First quarter has come to a close in what has become a very low-scoring ball game. 3-0 Baltimore in the lead. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Twitch. Second quarter of action from the Hub here in Baltimore from Sports Gamers Online Stadium. Tyler Falk alongside Brett Solberg here in the booth. Happy to have you along with us here this Sunday evening. Wigmore going to look to throw left side. Nice catch from Daly Holder. A very nice back fold shoulder corner route, which works to Baltimore and to perfection.
And I'm going to pin the blame on Travis Arthur as well as Miles Gibson. You saw that, the deep plays that weren't working for Baltimore was just the result of Tulsa's hands going up. None of the either two defenders had their hands up at all, and they probably could have gotten a pass deflection on that. But instead, it's going to be a deep completion and now a red zone opportunity for the Vultures.
1st and goal, Baltimore. Wigmore going to go to the air. Pass over the middle. It is caught by Irvin. Irvin with a pickup of about 4 to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, now Tulsa's goal here is, again, with this goal line stand and make sure that Baltimore doesn't cross the end zone. They did it once before, once Baltimore had that long 15-play drive to start off the game. Can they do it again here? 2nd and goal.
High formation, 2 tight end look for the Vultures. Handoff Murray through the middle, and he's blasted backward. 2-yard loss for Baltimore as in comes Travis Arthur, the free safety.
Yeah, that's him making up from that defensive gap that he had earlier with that deep catch for Baltimore, and getting a few yards back of these Vultures team. But going with 5 receivers here from just 7 yards out. Interesting play call.
9 defenders on the line of scrimmage here in 3rd and goal. Wigmore over the middle, deflected, and the ball flutters to the turf. It's a nice goal line stand for Tulsa. Wigmore tried to fit one in there, and it didn't work.
Yeah, and there's the difference there. Hands up, Miles Gibson, and you'll get yourself your 10th pass deflection of the season. And that is what stops Baltimore, is if you can figure out where they're going to on the passes, you're going to stop this Baltimore offense. And now forcing Shark Tarkington to kick another short field goal here. That's big for Tulsa.
Hit from 28 in the first quarter. This one from 24 in the left hash. Snap spot. Kick is up from Tarkington, and it is good. Baltimore 6, Tulsa nothing. Here as we begin the second quarter. The SFL Weekly Fantasy Contest is officially up and running. Think you can draft the best team every week while staying under the salary cap? Or maybe you just want to enhance your SFL experience. Free to play, no season-long commitment. And a new contest opens every week on Tuesday night. Join now and show off your fantasy skills to the rest of the league. Contact Jack Wall, Stephen Hackert, or Hunter Norwood to join today. Return now is Manning. Went right, now back to the left-hand side. A nice spin move, and it's a good, solid return up to the 29-yard line. Best return of the night for either return man. And Tulsa's offense retakes the field.
Yeah, and Tulsa's defense has done a pretty good job in limiting Baltimore in terms of, scoring points. Baltimore's a team that, once they start scoring, you can run it up and get to 30 plus at any point of the game. So limiting to 6 so far in this game after deep drives has been good. This offense has to pay them off now.
Still out there is King Jack Washington. Douglas Brown went down at the end of the first quarter as Q will find his man out to the right-hand side. That's Corey Jones. And get an update from Douglas Brown to the sideline. And, well, some of the inaccuracies, I couldn't find out whether or not Douglas Brown is out or not.
We're getting the Dag Smith treatment here, Tyler. What the heck?
Absolutely. I don't know what just happened. Hopefully Brown can return before the end of the contest. Well, we might bring you some updates later in the ball game, but for now, it's the King Jack Washington show as he's in the backfield for Tulsa. Q pumps once, and down he goes! Couldn't get out of the sack from Joe Duncan and Suron Yates, who hit him first. It's a combined sack to push back the Tulsa offense.
And give them sack number 34 this season. One of the things that Tulsa has improved over the last couple of games has been protecting the quarterback, but Baltimore is going to get theirs eventually, and that's what we get here halfway through the second.
Punch set off to the right. Q in the gun. Baltimore send the blitz. Q has to get rid of it and does into double coverage. Giovanni Bolt was trying to pick it off, and it falls incomplete. Tulsa are going to go 3 and out.
Yeah, and that was just a desperation throw from JQ, seeing that it was just a sliver of open opportunity to throw that ball deep, and even if it was going to be a 2-on-1 advantage for Baltimore, he had to get that ball off because he didn't want to get sacked a second straight time. I appreciate the effort from JQ.
Also not able to do a whole lot on offense, and that's a little bit to Douglas Brown being on the sideline. But with Baltimore unable to come up with any more points than just field goals, you have to think that the door is still wide open for the Desperados as the return from Irvin gets to the 39-yard line of Baltimore, and that is where their offense will take over.
Yeah, and Tulsa, that defense has to do it one more time here to give that offense another opportunity to get back in this game, because they start to get stifled here against that Baltimore defense. But now the Tulsa defense has to step up in part.
If we look out of the Desperados defense, handoff, T-Roy gains, and he only is able to pick up 3 yards as he's brought down by Marco Swift and company. It's been tough sledding for the run game for Baltimore here in the early goings.
Yeah, you said it there. It's going to be looks to be 10 yards so far of total rushing offense for the Vultures, which has resulted in Jack Wigmore throwing the ball a little bit more. This will be attempt number 19.
Wigmore On pass number 19, will find his man. That's caught by Ivory Irvin across midfield and deep into Tulsa land at the 32.
Yeah, and that was just a missed assignment by one of the Tulsa defenders, which left the wide receiver wide open. You can see there Nate Heslop got beat completely, which forced Travis Arthur, I should say. There's a lot of Arthurs in this league. But Travis Arthur getting himself the tackle to kind of save a touchdown from happening. And now Baltimore's marching after one deep play.
Those two post routes had to make the single eye safety choose a player, and ultimately it resulted in Baltimore getting a first down, and they'll go back-to-back first downs as they'll find Daly Holder on this play, a pickup of about 13, and another Vulture first down.
Yeah, and what I'm feeling now is that after Tulsa allowing those two deep passes here in this quarter, it's kind of discombobulated this secondary core that's been pretty effective throughout this first quarter and a half. So they need to, shore things up. Maybe take a timeout to, get them back into straight line.
Wigmore looking to throw, finds Murray near side, makes a juke, and looking for the first down. He's ultimately run out of bounds after picking up 9. It's Collins, the man who takes him down.
And Collins is a guy that's, all over the place and, gets himself tackles wherever that he can. But, when it comes to Warren Murray, he is such a deadly dual threat. He can do it both on the ground and in the air, so you got to be careful where he goes.
Short-yarded situation on second down. They'll go to T-Roy on the ground, and he'll muscle his way for the first down to the 9-yard line. It's first and goal, Baltimore.
Yeah, now it's another goal line situation here. Baltimore 0 for 2 on goal line situations. Tulsa's, when their backs are against the wall here in this first half, they've managed to, step up here and prevent touchdowns. But can Baltimore finally cross the end zone for the third time?
Our eye is Wigmore giving signals to his offense. 4-3 look out of the Desperados. They'll go with a run up the middle for Murray. He's out of 1, out of 2, but can't escape the third tackle. Hit by Chris Andrews from behind. Picks up only 2.
Yeah, that's got to be the toughest 2 yards that Warren Murray has ran all night so far. As like you said, he had to shed through 2 tackles just to get out of the line of scrimmage to get those 2 yards. Tulsa really stepping up here now.
Very wide here on second and goal. Wigmore in the gun with Murray off to his left. Wigmore over the middle, deflected.
Wow.
An excellent piece of defending from Miles Gibson.
And a desperation SWAT attempt because he was behind Lloyd Graham Jr. on that route. So he had to find his way to swim around Graham and not get the defensive pass interference call to get the automatic first down to swat that ball away. Fantastic athletic effort from Miles Gibson.
Can the Desperados come up with another goal line stand? Another 3-wide look here from the Vultures on the 7-yard line. Wigmore looking to throw. Steps up into the pocket, floats it for Murray. Murray is going to be ruled out of bounds. And so an incomplete pass, and Tulsa's defense holds firm again.
And I think this was a rare bad play from Baltimore. You had Ivory Irvin on the top of your screen there. And what should have happened was a fade route instead of a slant in. And what happened instead is that all the receivers were covered, which forced Wigmore to throw it to his running back who wasn't ready and was already out of bounds by the time he grabbed the football.
So, Shark Tarkington's called on for the 3rd time tonight. 23-yard attempt from right in the middle of the park. And a kick is up and good. 9-0 Baltimore. It's been all Shark Tarkington here tonight. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams. All the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. SimulationFL.net, your home for everything SFL. Gabriel Manning on the return. It's another decent return for Manning up to the 28-yard line. Partner, when we talk about the next class of SFL talent, we're talking about the SFL Minor League, which starts up in just over a week's time.
Yeah, and I don't know what the SFLM is all about. I never played in it. I've been here since season 9 when the minor leagues were just a twinkle in Cameron Irvine's eye. And here we are now getting into what, our 5th season of this? It's just amazing how this league has expanded.
6th season, partner, as getting the call is King Jack Washington in for the injured Douglas Brown. He can't make heads or tails of the run. He's stopped at the line by Alvin Mack.
Thank you for the adjustment on that. Sixth season. 6th is a tough word to say, but yeah. Nonetheless, yeah, King Jack is going to have a tough time because he's, not the same quality of running back as Douglas Brown. And if he's going to get fed the rock here, he's going to need to find some stretch runs to the outside.
Agree with the crowd. Tulsa need a long drive here. Pass over the middle will not find the hands of a receiver. It looked to be an excellent pass from Q. Corey Jones unable to haul it in after the hit by Mack.
Yeah, pretty much a picture-perfect pass from JQ as well, and it just looked like he couldn't get his hands on that football. He did for a little bit, and then he just gets bumped off, and it looked like a pretty easy bump off there, so Baltimore getting away with one here, 3rd and 10.
My apologies, that's Devin King who laid the lumber onto Mr. Jones, and now it's a 3rd and 10 here for Tulsa. Have to get to the 38-yard line to convert. Baltimore send a blitz, and down goes Q. A perfectly timed and perfectly executed blitz.
Yeah, and that's going to push Tulsa to negative yardage in the 2nd quarter of total offense. And that is something that Baltimore can do against teams that really need to find themselves offensively. Because right now, the Tulsa defense is, giving plenty of opportunities for the offense to step up. And right now, we have not seen anything of Tulsa's offense to say that they're going to have a chance of coming back in this game right now.
That was Frank Smith sent on the middle linebacker blitz along with Joe Duncan, who come up with the sack, 2nd sack of the ball game here for the Baltimore defense as the punt is away and Irvin is able to get it to his own 47-yard line. Another drive for Baltimore, which will start in excellent field position.
Yeah, just going back to what I said earlier, 8 total plays in the 2nd quarter, -4 yards. Baltimore's defense stepping up immensely to keep this 9-0 lead.
Here comes the Baltimore offense. They'll start the drive in the power eye. They'll run a stretch play near side for Murray. Murray had a hole, quickly closed down by Marco Swift and Miles Gibson. Only a pickup of 3 for Murray.
Yeah, and there's been that prime example of Tulsa's defense really stepping up. Basically, a total of 17 yards of total rushing offense so far from the Baltimore offense. It's been basically all passing at this point that's been successful in getting those 3 field goals.
More tight end set. 4-3 look out of Tulsa here on 2nd and 7. Pass near side will find Murray spinning and taken down by David Ware. He'll pick up 4 on the screen pay.
Yeah, I got to give credit to the blocker there that just came in to help Warren Murray. Basically turned that from a 0-yard play to a 7-yarder. Good work from the tackle, Mel Blackman, on that one.
Defensive coverage backs off a little bit. Wigmore going to look for a quick pass over the middle, and it's caught. Matt Chima just got there in the area. It looked like the middle linebacker, Miles Gibson, had enough wingspan to knock it aside. Not the case.
And his wings turned into stone at that point, because that swing attempt, that was like me swinging a baseball bat with my frail arms out there, and it just didn't work out. And like you said, it turned into basically an easy catch and a 1st down.
Tight end flexed off the left here on 1st down. Out and out left side. It is called in and caught for a 1st down, yardage and more for Lloyd Graham Jr.
And right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This passing offense has been electric so far, especially from Jack Wigmore and company, because they're finding open routes now. And again, it's just a missed assignment this time. Again, from Philadelphia Collins, it looks like, coming on that outside linebacker side, trying to cover Lloyd Graham Jr., and he just misses the cut, essentially. So it leaves Graham Jr. open on that out route, and an easy 1st down for Baltimore.
And tight ends these days, partner, it's almost better to have another corner covering them with how speedy that these tight ends have gotten, almost like an extra wide receiver out there. As we hit the 2-minute warning here in the 1st half. Baltimore on top, 9-0. You're watching the SFL presented by 8 p.m. Music live on Twitch. Coming out of the 2-minute break from SGO Stadium, Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg here in the booth, along with Justin Deside and Kristen Hatley in the stat struck. Warren Murray gets us going out of the break for a nice pitch and catch of 8 yards.
Yeah, and that was another great spin move from Warren Murray. The spin move has been super effective for these running backs over the last 3 weeks. I'm seeing guys like Jet Zero get spin moves out there. We've seen, GP Wells try to get himself open a few times with the spin move, and it's worked out. And of course, Robert Redford and BDG working it like you usually do.
Pass over the middle, intended for Graham Jr. Instead, it falls incomplete, threw into a sea of white.
Yeah, and this time Miles Gibson gets his hands on the football and does a great job doing his best to try to secure the interception after the pass deflection. But like you said, it felt like a whole swarm of a sea of white, as I guess you can say, in the vicinity of Lloyd Graham Jr. So another good defensive play from Tulsa here deep in their own end zone.
5-step drop for Wigmore, pass over the middle. Now we'll find his tight end, Graham Jr., first down. For the Baltimore Vultures, be first and goal, and check that. Daley Holder comes up with the reception.
Yeah, and again, it feels like, that spread of wealth has been really helping out like it has been all season for this Baltimore squad. Murray has 6. Daley Holder getting his 4th out of that. Graham Jr. has 3. Irvin with 2.
First and goal from the 6. Wigmore left side, nearly picked off by Philadelphia Collins.
That's a tough one. Again, that's another opportunity to grab an interception and stop this play here. That is now the 8th pass deflection in this game. And partner, I have to say, that is probably the 4th chance they had to grab an interception and, prevent some points on the board. This could easily be just 3-0.
At least the 4th. Maybe more if we go back and take a look at it. Second and goal. Wigmore swing pass, screen near side for Murray. Murray's into the end zone. Touchdown, Baltimore Vultures. It's as easy as you'd like for Warren Murray.
Yeah, can you get any easier for Warren Murray as well? As he basically had just one guy to beat. Meeting him at the line was Marco Swift, and he just finds himself, a quick spin move right there just to beat Swift and get himself to the end zone. And Baltimore finally, 4th time's a charm for their red zone offense to score, and that one is probably the biggest blow dealt in this game so far for Tulsa. Now 15-0.
On comes Shark Tarkington to try and make it 16-0 under a minute to go here in the first half. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. It's the Vultures who seemingly have not skipped a beat after taking one on the chin in St. Paul, Minnesota 2 weeks ago. They've come out of their bye week and have poured it on Tulsa here in their, what should be maybe called a homecoming, their final home regular season game here at SGO in the regular season, as, of course, Baltimore have clinched a playoff spot, looking to win here tonight, which would see them clinch the Atlantic Division title. As the kick is up, and we are running again. Gabriel Manning spinning out of tackles and is spun around himself by DJ Bandit, one of the tight ends on the kick-up team. And that is where Tulsa will start their drive.
Yeah, and you got to be thinking to yourselves here, now you're down 16. This is 3 scores essentially to get back into this game. You've got to start throwing the football. And you see there, Gabriel Manning, just 1 target so far in this game. Start throwing to him.
What they do as JQ goes into the gun, he's going to look to throw, looking right side. It is caught for about 3 yards. Tulsa will call a timeout. It's Corey Jones who comes up with the reception.
Yeah, and Tulsa will get the football back here in this 3rd quarter to get a chance, to do a 2-for-1 opportunity here with 41 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So they got to start thinking deep here. You've got Gabriel Manning, and they're going short with these routes, and I don't think down 16 at this point, you continue going short. You got to go deep at some point.
2nd and 7. Q now goes deep. Right side. Corey Jones caught
They gave
it.
it to him. They gave it to him.
All he needs is a foot in bounds, and with inside of 2 minutes, it can only be reviewed by the booth. Let's take a look again.
Yeah, that one's going to be a very, very close call. We'll see here. Oh, you got to be kidding me. You can't cut it off like that. I think he's inbounds for this one. I want to say they should review it nonetheless, but regardless of the fact, we just saw a fantastic throw from JQ deep down the field for the first time this game.
And an excellent catch by Jones. 4 wide, 1st and 10. Blitz coming. Q over the middle. One-handed snag by DJ Hume for 7 yards. And they're going to the hurry-up.
Good formation. You've got 4 wide receivers and a tight end to use.
I want to take a deeper drop with Baltimore sending the blitz. Pass over the middle. Caught at the 20-yard line. Caught by Sanzo Robinson, the former halfback.
Yeah, now Tulsa's offense is starting to get going here. They're saying forget the running game at this point. Let's start trusting in JQ and that passing offense. And now that's gotten him to 8 of 13 passing. There you go. Finally, Tulsa's finding something offensively, and now they're getting down the field. 21 seconds left, now well within field goal range, but I would say go for the jugular, get the 6.
An explosion of offense here in the last minute of the first half for the Desperados. You're going to look to throw again. He'll swing it out right side for Justin Williams, the fullback, who gets knocked out of bounds after picking up 6 yards to the 15.
Yeah, not a bad idea there to at least get Justin Williams involved because he hasn't had a touch of the football yet to this point. And with Douglas Brown out, it looks like, because King Jack Washington is still in that back set in the starting position. So you should maybe start looking at, Justin Williams a bit more. And that's a good 6-yard gain on first down.
Probably go with one more play before they bring the field goal unit on, unless this results in a touchdown. Q, corner of the end zone. Goal! Gabriel Manning, out of nowhere, comes up with the touchdown.
Like a Randy Orton RKO, Gabriel Manning waiting for his spot. And that is an absolute mossing of the defender there. I mean, Elijah Warfield, you had your chances, but you're not going to have a chance against Gabriel Manning on a one-on-one situation. He's gonna jump over you and grab that touchdown. That's why they call him Money Manning.
Bursting onto the scene, show me the money, Mr. Manning, as on comes Brooke Beisel to tack home the extra point, which she does. 16-7 after an impressive short drive for the Desperados, sees them get on the board for the first time tonight.
And more importantly, it breathes life to this Tulsa offense, which has been otherwise living on life support throughout this first half, finally getting a score out of it. And you'll see there, the 2 receptions from Manning on that drive, crucial.
We're off and running here at the end of the second quarter. On the return is Irvin, looking for the left-hand side. He breaks out of one and then is busted out of this world and down to the turf to the 26-yard line as Baltimore will retake the field. The Vultures will have to kick the football away to start the second half. These 8 seconds, they might try anything.
Yeah, and you know what? That passing offense has been working for them. 133 yards in the second quarter alone. But it looks like they're going to run this clock out.
And off to Murray, who, for a very familiar sight tonight at least, stopped at the line of scrimmage. And that will take us into halftime here from Sports Gamers Online Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore up 16 on Tulsa with 7. Partner, quickly, what can you tell us about that last half and what needs to change in the second half?
Basically, Tulsa needs to keep that offensive power going for them to get back in this game. Baltimore's been playing Baltimore football, just a little bit less scoring because they've been stifled by that Tulsa defense early on. But if Tulsa can continue this way, they're going to give Baltimore a tough time heading into the second half.
And so, here comes the return from Gabriel Manning. He spins around from 1. He has been electric on returns tonight. Gets this one to the 26-yard line. That is where Tulsa's offense will start their first second half possession. Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg in the booth, Justin Reside, and Tristan Hatling, the stats truck. And of course, our producer is the SFL commissioner, Cameron Irvine. We are very glad you could join us for this Sunday evening contest, the last game here in week 13 before all craziness breaks loose next weekend at the final regular season weekend here in season 19 of the SFL. And it's King Jack Washington who gets our stanza going here in the third quarter on the ground. In for the injured Douglas Brown, as I mentioned, out of the ball game, or so it seems, at the end of that first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a devastating blow for them so far because at this point, only 2 total rushing yards of total offense.
Washington gets another carry, and you can just see the difference in speed between him and the number 1 halfback as Alvin Mack is there in a flash, taking down Washington for a loss of 4.
Yeah, and that's big there. That takes away their rushing yards. They're now at -2 on this game, and now they're going to force JQ to throw this on a 5 wide receiver set.
3rd and long here for JQ. You under pressure, and he is blown away. What a hit from Nate Brown, and Q's going to be seeing that one in his nightmares.
Yeah, they talk about Christian Brown and what can Brown do for you, but let's talk about Nate Brown, the man with the truck stick in his hands. Jeebus Christ, look at the shove action on him. No worry whatsoever, pushing Tulsa back and forcing a punt early in this third quarter.
Brown and serve. I thought I saw, either angels or birds circling the head of JQ after that last hit. Get looked over on the sideline, of course, as the punt is away from Ismail Farouk. And now the return is Irvin right at midfield to get inside Tulsa territory down at the 46-yard line. As we want to welcome you back to Sports Gamers Online Stadium here in Baltimore. Check out sportsgamersonline.com or check them out on YouTube and see why millions visit their website and YouTube channel. And so Baltimore will come to the line for their first drive of the half from Tulsa's 46. Hand up the middle and slam to the turf is T-Roy Canes. The hits are coming thick and fast, partner.
You think Miles Gibson went to Bill Goldberg and asked him how to spear opponents like that? Because that was vintage Bill Goldberg coming out of Miles Gibson out of that. My word, what a hit.
I mean, either someone's working at a lumber yard or we're in a completely different atmosphere at the moment. So many huge hits. And the pass over the middle, spinning behind him is Lloyd Graham Jr. to find the pass and haul it in.
No, it's a tough catch from Lloyd Graham Jr., but he's been doing that all season. He is, from all the Baltimore games that I have at least covered or watched throughout the season, Lloyd Graham Jr. has a bunch of 2-on-1 coverage on him, and he still finds himself managing to grab catches. He is just one of the toughest tight ends in this league.
1st and 10 now from the 34. Wigmore looking near side, caught, and turning upfield is Lloyd Graham Jr. And a late hit from Nate Heslip will not get called, but it will be a first down nonetheless for Baltimore.
Yeah, and the difference there on that play on the out route is that Graham Jr. had a blocker with him. And that was DJ Bandit, the second tight end that we haven't seen a lot of action from, but he did a great job at least, helping out Graham Jr. get an extra couple yards and get that first down.
1st and 10 again here for the Vultures. Swing pass near side for Murray. Murray trying to work out of the Heslip tackle. Can't. He'll pick up 3 yards for his troubles.
Yeah, and Murray's having troubles on the ground so far. Just 6 yards on 8 carries here, less than a yard per carry. But in order for him to, continue his success, maybe it's through the air. He's got 38 yards and a touchdown. That's been working for him so far.
2nd and 7, 2 tight ends left, 2 wideouts right. Wigmore over the middle. That is another deflection for the Desperados and another pass that could have been intercepted.
And another bone-crushing hit from Miles Gibson, this time on Mac Cheeman to make sure that he doesn't secure the catch. Jeez, that man is on a warpath right now, if I can say so. He's just demolishing Baltimore players, trying to, get even on that Douglas Brown injury, perhaps.
Well, third down of Baltimore's day. They are 6 of 11 so far. Wigmore going to look to throw over the middle, deflected. Great play from Miles Gibson. He's come up with a couple of those tonight, and on comes the kicking team led by Shark Tarkington.
And that's his third pass deflection in this game, Miles Gibson. And he's been all over the place. He's been involved in 9 tackles. That's tied for the team lead in this game with Phil Collins out of all that. So he has been all over the place. If Tulsa manages to come back and win this game, he's got to be early, bid for player of the game.
Tarkington from 37. Kick is up and good officially from 36. 19-7. Baltimore with a 12-point lead. The SFL network is coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from the archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android or iPhone or on your TV through Roku, Amazon Fire, Vizio, and more. The SFL Network, where SFL creators come together. Gabriel Manning on another great return. Gets it past the 30-yard line to the 31 before he's eventually dragged down. And so out come the Tulsa offense once again.
Yeah, and this time they need to step up. They can't have any, allow any sacks. So that means the offensive line needs to step up. They need to find what was successful on that 2-minute drill drive late in the second quarter and continue, using that kind of motivation to get forward.
This is good news for the Desperados as Washington gets the call here. Hugh has done okay so far today. Only 1 interception, 1 touchdown, 12 of 17, which is a better completion percentage than his season total, which is right around 66%, averaging so far in this game 72%. As the first carry goes to Heslop, Washington for 5 yards. Come out here on second down. Hugh, swing pass left side for Washington. Washington dragged out by his face mask. That's going to add on some yards.
Yeah, that's got to be a personal foul. There was no incident on that. That was a clear cut face mask on that one. But what are they going to say here? Yeah, it's incidental. I don't know if that was incidental. I think that was intentional. That should be 15 instead of 5.
I don't think it was incidental either, partner. Instead, we'll tack on 5. It'll be a first down for the Desperados. And here they come from their own 47-yard line. Coverage is going to come right up to the line.
Perfect play to go deep.
And they'll run with Washington. Left side, and Washington is eaten alive at midfield.
Yeah, and I said it was the perfect play to go deep because Baltimore was bunching up. And you've got a guy that's probably one of the fastest players in this league in Gabriel Manning, and that's an opportunity to, change up the play, recognize, audible it up so that at least Gabriel Manning has a shot down deep, but they go with the run instead. Now it's 2nd and 8.
Now for midfield. Let's make a couple of adjustments as Q looks to throw near side, caught by Manning, and Manning couldn't spin out of the tackle from Troy Losha. Will pick up about 5 yards, making third down a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, it's a much more manageable situation instead of 3rd and 8. And Tulsa, they need to figure things out on third downs. We talked about how Baltimore's had all these opportunities. Tulsa's only 1 for 5 on these third down chances, going for number 6 here.
From the shotgun is Q. He's going to look to throw, crossing routes over the middle, takes too much time with the pocket, and nearly goes down for the 4th time today. Cerron Yates, the 4th, gets home. Ball will fall to the turf, and out comes Farouk in the punting unit.
Yeah, now is an opportunity for JQ to throw that football. The offensive line did a great job to give Q the time, and he just needs to sling that rock out. He can't be waiting for that perfect open opportunity, especially when you're down 12 in this scenario, exactly 4 field goals at this point. So you can't be waiting too long to throw that football out.
And Farouk pumped this one away. Irvin's going to let this one bounce. It'll drop at the 5. It rolls toward the goal line. And an excellent punt from Farouk. Down at the goal line. Baltimore's got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Now it's 99.5 yards to the end zone here, which is going to be a pretty daunting task, especially with this Tulsa run defense that has been spectacular throughout this first 2.5 quarters. So I don't think they can go run on this first play.
They do go with a run. Right side for Murray. Murray out of a couple tackles. Still going is Warren Murray.
Me.
Down the sideline. Past the 35-yard line. Oh, Warren Murray has been bottled up all tonight. He gets going on the biggest play for Baltimore.
This isn't fair when you're facing Warren Murray sometimes. Look at 1, 2, 3, and he gets himself open by just ducking along with the spin move. Just great awareness of players around from Warren Murray, and holy cow, as it's said by the chat, just unbelievable run for 37 yards for Warren Murray.
From the engraving of the goalpost, they now stand at their own 38-yard line. What a run from Warren Murray. Hand up again through the middle. Will go to Murray, and Murray is going to tack on 6 more yards to his total.
Yeah, and now what's felt like a very, very poor game for Warren Murray has turned himself into, you know what? A pretty decent game so far for him. So he's definitely bounced back in this third quarter to help things out for Baltimore in what they really want to start, dominating time possession like they did in the first quarter.
Marco Swift, the strong safety, creeping up on the line, expecting a screen play in his direction, which it comes. Murray out to the right is lit up after only picking up 2 yards on the play by Ware.
Yeah, and it's going to continue being tough here because now Tulsa probably has, a target on Warren Murray's either his shoulders or his back at this point because he just broke off for a big run, and Baltimore is going to start using him a little bit more often now that he's broken off for that big run and started to gain confidence.
And flex to the left in the direction of that strong eye. Deep drop here from Wigmore. He fires it over the middle. Cut! He's got an entourage and nothing in front of him. Ivory Irvin, touchdown, Vultures, and they break it wide open.
And Tulsa has done a fantastic job in limiting the deep pass throughout the first half, but this time it was just a broken defensive play, and you can see there it was just the wrong man to cover Nate Heslip as he was going for the short route, keeping the flats, which left that left side of the field wide open, and it was too late for the safeties to get to Irvin. Way too much space, so he just used that left side of the field, and now Baltimore establishing dominance here, making it showing the reason why they're 9-1.
And the morale for Tulsa's defense, which has been solid for most of this game, starts to take a little bit of a dive with the last drive. Starting on their own goal line, the Baltimore Vultures go 99.5 yards to get a touchdown and get the lead back out to 19.
And get that, 99.5 yards on just 4 plays. 4! Never heard of that before.
38 of those yards partnered by Warren Murray on the first play of the drive with an incredible run as we get going. Once again, Manning going to be back deep to return from his own goal line. He's going to follow his blockers up the middle, try and make something out to the right-hand side, and he's taken down at the 26-yard line. The final week of the SFL regular season is this upcoming weekend, and you can catch all the drama of the most critical games to the playoff picture next Saturday at 6:30 p.m. and next Sunday at 8:45 p.m. Eastern on Next Level Sports. Keep your eyes peeled for matchups, which will be announced Monday on social media and here on NXT. For a channel guide and more info about Next Level Sports, visit NLSE.com. And for King Jack, Washington goes nowhere. And with Douglas Brown being out, they've tried to rely on Washington on the run game, and it just hasn't worked.
Not a lot so far. You can see the 4 attempts on the ground for him for roughly a net 0 yardage for him. He just hasn't gotten off the ground at all.
Wide outs, 2 tight ends. Q going to look left side. It's
Wow.
nearly picked off. A diving deflection saves the completion.
And another Elijah Warfield deflection there. We'll focus on Alvin Mack on this play because he was a little bit involved there, but not as much as Warfield. As you can see, kind of on that deep side, he was covering a different man, realizing that Mack was a little bit out of place. So great awareness from Warfield to change his assignment and get the pass deflection.
3rd and 10. Here for the Desperados. A 3rd down, which they sorely need. Q, under pressure, fires it over the middle. Caught it! And a cross midfield down to the 44-yard line. They'll hook up with DJ Hume.
They went with 2 deep receivers with DJ Hume on the right and Manning on the left side. Maybe Manning was supposed to be the deep man on that left side, the main option, but Hume found himself wide open, just beating Troy Lowshaw just enough for Q to throw that rock. And that is what Tulsa needs to get back in this game, is those deep shots.
Only the 2nd 3rd down conversion of the game for the Desperados. Q going to look to throw again as Baltimore sending a blitz. Pass over the middle. It is caught by Jones for 8.
Yeah, and they're going to need to use all the receivers to get themselves open here. So there might be more looks to, Sonzo Robinson and Jim Copeland Jr. moving forward if they're going to continue moving down the field.
2nd and short now here for the Desperados. Go with a run up the middle for King Jack Washington, who will pick up the 1st down. Got a good jump from his offensive line to help get the hole broken open, and that's easy pickings for King Jack.
And this might be perfect for Tulsa to use King Jack Washington in scenarios like this. Short down situations, 2nd and 2, 3rd and 1, those kind of plays to at least try to open up just enough for him to get 1st downs.
Defensive line shifts over in the direction of the strong eye. Q, deep
Open.
shot, diving catch from Corey Jones. 1st and goal, Tulsa.
Yeah, and again, Tulsa has the receivers to beat the corners, this time beating Ben Stackenpaper, who hasn't been involved a lot in the defense. No pass deflections or interceptions from him, but this time a great throw again from JQ, and it was just needed that Corey Jones to dive and grab that catch, and this is what Tulsa needs.
I'll go with an empty backfield here on 1st and goal from Baltimore's 9. Q takes a deep shot. Pressure coming out of one.
Boy.
Not away from the 2nd one. Al Walker walks all over JQ. And it goes from 1st and goal from the 9 to 2nd and goal from the 18.
And this is what Baltimore can do here, is that they will swarm you with those defensive line mates. Like, again, the chef, Ciaron Yates, almost getting himself another sack in the season. Q manages to shed it off, but it was just, it like Thanos, it was inevitable that someone was going to get to him, and Joe Duncan got the sack.
2nd and goal from the, I got to check my watch here, 18-yard line as Q looks in the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! DJ Hume! And Tulsa is back within a score.
And that is a great response from Baltimore. Getting a sack on you is just slinging it for a touchdown. And again, we've talked about how great Tulsa's receivers are, and they're finally getting them involved the right way. Getting Corey Jones, getting DJ Hume involved, getting Gabriel Manning involved. This is how Tulsa gets back in this game, and they scored another one to get back within 12.
Currently 13. Brooke Beisel's extra point to make it 12. Snap spot is low, and it's handled and eventually kicked up through the uprights, and good. Baltimore 26, Tulsa 14, and I gotta say, partner, that drive for Tulsa couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, and this is what they need here. If they're going to come back against a Baltimore team that has been so stout defensively and so efficient offensively, you need to have big plays like the ones we saw. 3 big passing plays on that drive to get that score.
And we're rolling once more. Irvin going to take the return from outside his own end zone, looking for help on the right side, and he is shouldered to the turf at the 24-yard line, and that is where his offense will start over on their next possession with only 6 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and if Baltimore's smart at this point, they're going to run as much clock as possible. Heavy doses of Warren Murray, whether it be through dump passes or handoffs.
Tight end flex off to the left. Here on first down. Wigmore, deep drop, under pressure, looking near side, picked up, going the other way. Nate Heslop inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line. The first, make that second interception of the ball game for Tulsa. Gets them back to within 1st and goal.
And you have to say, this has got to be the first mistake from Baltimore here, as Heslop finally gets his interception. He's been wanting it all game. He had 2 opportunities in the first quarter, doesn't get it. Now he gets it at the end of the third.
A fiery conclusion to the third quarter as Tulsa's knocking on the door when we come back for the fourth. Get your 4s, 86s, and 12s up in chat. You're watching Week 13 SFL action on Twitch. Welcome back to SGO Stadium. Nate Heslop picked off Jack Wigmore for the first time tonight and sets his offense up with 1st and goal. Handoff through the middle is King Jack Washington, and he is taken down in the backfield. They'll give him no gain. They'll give him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg in on the call with Tristan Hatley and Justin Reside on the stat struck. Thank you, gentlemen, for all the work you've put in all weekend long and all season long. And it's 2nd and goal now here for the Desperados.
I'd be looking for Gabriel Manning on this play. Go with the fade route.
See what they do. Under pressure, gets it away in time. Incomplete. Al Walker nearly came up with another sack.
Yeah, and my mistake on there was actually Corey Jones on that far side. Now it's going to be an out route right to the end zone line. So that was actually a picture-perfect play as Baltimore was setting back, waiting for deep end zone plays instead. But the defensive line gets to Q just as he was throwing the football.
3rd and goal here for Tulsa. Play action. Q under pressure, and down he goes. Nate Brown and serve again. And it's a huge loss of 6 yards, and Tulsa will have to settle for a field goal.
And what a great step up from Baltimore after that interception. Basically having Tulsa start at the 6-yard line, and 2 great stops, a run stop and a pass stop, and then followed by a sack. Great job from Baltimore in response to the throwing an interception.
This will be a 29-yard attempt for Brooke Beisel. Her kick is up and good, and Tulsa cuts in a little bit further into the lead after the interception. It's now a 9-point ball game. As we want to remind you that APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Here we go again. Ivory Irvin on the return, makes a man miss at the 25 and gets taken down at the 30. His best return of the night as Baltimore's offense retakes the field, hoping to shake off the interception last time out.
Yeah, and they have to think to themselves at this point, you wanted to chew off clock last time. It led to a Jack Wigmore interception. Let's take the football out of the hands of Wigmore for a little bit. Give it to Murray a little bit here now.
I like what you're trying to allude to take the hint, maybe run the football. Wigmore out route left side. That one safely hauled in for Ivory Irvin. Gains 7 after being knocked out of bounds by the man who picked off Wigmore on the last drive, Nate Heslop.
Yeah, and the thing is, Baltimore doesn't have to be flashy on this drive. They just need to chip away down the field. Chew as much clock as possible. It's 9 points. It's still a 2-score lead for Baltimore at this stage. So if they can continue to just chip away down the field, they can chew up a lot of clock.
With a run through the middle, T. Roy gains 2. Jaden Swift in on the tackle.
And this will be a big third down for this Tulsa defense here. And each third down moving forward for this Tulsa defense is going to get bigger and bigger from here on out. So my suggestion, stop them on this third down so the pressure doesn't start falling on your shoulders each time when you get to third down.
Goal line I versus a 4-3 in a short yardage situation. They will go with Murray through the middle, and he will pick up the first.
Yeah, and it's just great offensive line coverage. Did what was needed necessary for Murray to get that first down. They didn't need to have a big flashy 40-yard run like they had at the goal line earlier in this half. They just need to get that first down. That's all they want at this point. Just chip away.
Now as the coverage backs off, Baltimore goes into the gun here on this first down. Wigmore gonna look to throw over the middle. That one is caught cross midfield down to Tulsa's 41-yard line. It's Irvin and another reception on the drive.
Yeah, and it's every now and again, it's not too bad to throw it deep and get Ivor Irvin involved because they've been piercing on this Tulsa passing defense all game. And now Jack Wigmore over 300 yards passing. He has been ultra efficient in this game, despite being 26 of 41, which is a low percentage number than he usually gets. He's been doing okay.
1st and 10 here for Baltimore. Wigmore's going to look for a swing pass near side for Murray. Murray out of one tackle with a very nice spin move. And then he made a little camera shy. Cameron Shaw comes back from being spun around to get the tackle.
Yeah, and again, it's just chipping away. They're now in enemy territory here. They don't have to do anything fancy. They're pretty much in Tarkington range at this point. This would be a 50-yarder. So they don't really need to do anything pretty. Just run it down, run that clock down as much as possible.
2 yards for a first down. Baltimore in an offset eye. They go with a stretch play. Left side for Murray. Murray out of a tackle and still going. Out of another tackle. And then stapled to the turf by Marco Swift at the 18.
Yeah, and Warren Murray, he's finally getting himself involved big time in the second half. He was limited to just 17 yards of total rushing offense in this first half. The second half, he's finally come alive, and that's how Baltimore has gotten a lot of these scores in this game to help separate them a little bit further from Tulsa. But now you're in the red zone again. You're 1 of 5 in this scenario. You need to start scoring here big time.
Wigmore going to look to throw over the middle. It is caught by Daly Holder for another Vulture first down. That'll set him up at the 6-yard line.
And that's big there. You know, again, that share of wealth that has been working so well for Baltimore all season is happening again. 3 receivers with over 5 receptions, actually 4 if you count Warren Murray with his double-digit reception day. It's been fantastic working from the Baltimore passing offense.
They also need to stop in the worst way as they go with the ground game through the middle. T. Roy stopped at the line. Good initial pressure from that linebacking core led by Gibson.
Yeah, and this Tulsa red zone defense has been spectacular through this game. Like I said, it's 1 of 4 for these attempts from Baltimore in the red zone of actually getting a touchdown here. And it's all due to Tulsa really stepping up when their backs are against the wall.
2nd and goal. High formation here for the Vultures. Deep drop here from Wigmore. Looking left side, deflected and incomplete. Could have used a pick, but a deflection helps nonetheless. Travis Arthur with the initial deflection.
Yeah, and that was big. That was big for a deflection. But what, like you said, what would have been even bigger is if he would have just used the attempt to maybe grab that football. Because if he would have grabbed it, I think that was pick 6 territory, partner. I don't think anybody's going to get to Travis Arthur on that.
So it brings up 3rd and goal. And Dulce's defense hold again. Wigmore going to look to throw. Swing pass near side for Murray. Murray can't spit out of this one. And down he goes. David Ware comes up with the touchdown saving tackle. And now on comes Shark Tarkington to try and make it a 12-point ball game again.
And again, this is another great job from Tulsa's defense in the red zone to prevent Baltimore from scoring a touchdown. And now Tarkington, 5th chance at a field goal for him. He has been plenty involved.
This one a chip shot from 21 yards out. Snap spot. Kick is up, and it is good. 29-17, a 12-point lead for the Vultures. And though we've come accustomed to the SFL and Baltimore very rarely going to the draft and the SFLM players to try and add to their ranks, we want to remind you the SFL Minor League is about to begin. Games kick off Friday, October 14th on SFL YouTube, and it's not too late to create your player and get him or her involved in the next rookie class. Season 20's rookie draft takes place December 17th and 18th, so don't miss your chance. The sooner you create your player, the better your player will be on draft day. For more information, visit simulationfl.net. As Manning gets the return to the 25-yard line, and now it's crunch time for the Tulsa offense.
Yeah, and JQ's got to pull out all the stops here. You've got two great targets for sure. You should really start relying on Corey Jones and Gabriel Manning. Those guys have been good on your deep options. And in this kind of defensive play, look for Manning to go deep.
First play of the drive. Baltimore send the blitz. Q looking deep. It is caught. Down the sideline is Corey Jones inside the 30 and down to the 27. And now the offense hustling back to the line. What a play from Q to Jones.
This is what they needed. That first play, big bomb, and they go with Corey Jones. Great work from Q.
42-yard pass for JQ and company. 1st and 10 for the Desperados. Q gonna look to throw. Pass over the middle. One-handed catch by Jones. It's the Corey Jones show here on the drive. 8-yard pickup, and they're back to the line. Inside the 20, they're in the red zone. Q gonna look to throw. Swing pass near side for King Jack Washington with room to run. He gets to the 10-yard line before being knocked out of bounds, which will stop the clock.
And it's a good thing they got out of bounds, too, because the receivers were looking tired. On that play, it was meant for the deep shot to the end zone, but all the receivers were pretty much covered. You could see the stop routes from both Copeland, and it looked to be DJ Hume as well on those stop routes. Well covered. Good job from Baltimore, but they left Washington open, and when you have that much space, he's going to get that first down, and a good job to get out of bounds. Like I said, recover, just kind of rest a little bit, and get a new formation going.
Now 1st and goal from just inside the 10-yard line. 3 wide receivers here for Tulsa. Q. Baltimore send the blitz. Q looking into the back of the end zone. Caught!
Oh, he didn't get it.
But just out of the back of the end zone is Jim Copeland Jr. Might want to take a second look at that, but I think one of his feet were on the end line.
Yeah, that one's, a 50-50 play for sure, whether it be out of bounds or inbounds. But, I'm thinking from an initial look that I think that's a clear-cut out of bounds catch from Copeland Jr. His 1 foot was already out of bounds.
On straight formation here for Tulsa. They're going to go with a slant play over the middle.
Oh.
It is dropped. The hit more than likely jarred the ball free. Corey Jones, the intended target.
Yeah, and that would have been a touchdown as well because Corey Jones' outstretched hands crossed the line for sure. But when it comes to a situation where 2 Baltimore defenders are going to sandwich you, it's going to be tough to hold on to that football. 3rd and goal here for the Desperados.
Also need a touchdown. They come out with 5 wide receivers from the 10-yard line. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. 2. Baltimore send the blitz pass over the middle. Touchdown! Sanzo Robinson! They bring it back within a touchdown.
And there's a guy who hasn't been involved too much in Sanzo Robinson. Being a red zone threat has always been Sanzo Robinson's AO since he shifted to the wide receiver spot. And, it's kind of been that forgotten receiver in Tulsa set. We talk about Manning, we talk about Corey Jones, we talk about DJ Kuhn. But sometimes you can't forget about that magic man in Sanzo Robinson. He's going to get that score. Tulsa still has life.
Currently a 6-point ball game. Brooke Beisel tasked with making only a 5. High snap is corralled by Deshura Young, the backup quarterback, and Beisel able to knock it home. Is now only a 5-point ball game, 29-24, and things are getting testy here in Baltimore. And what's this? Tulsa going to try an onside kick.
With 4:11 left, this is going to be risky because Baltimore will still have plenty of time to score a touchdown and ice things.
Here we go. Beisel's onside kick is bobbled, and it is hauled in by Baltimore. at the 41-yard line, hauled in by DeAndre Fields, the fifth-string wide receiver.
Yeah, and you saw that initial jump from one of the Baltimore Hands team members. He didn't get to it, and that was free opportunity for Tulsa to grab the football, and they almost got it. Valiant effort from the Tulsa Hands team on that. Just fantastic work, but Baltimore still has the football.
They're only about 6 yards away from Tarkington field goal range. They go with the screenplay near side for Warren Murray. Murray spinning upfield, will get inside Tarkington range, and more. Gets inside the 30, the 29, and another Vulture first down.
Well, there's your 6, Tyler, and then some. That was double that for sure. And that was just all from one spin move again. Just the master of the spin move tonight is Warren Murray, just absolutely pantsing Cameron Shaw, if I can say that on Twitch here. Just fantastic work again from Warren Murray to just get himself that extra couple yards necessary for Baltimore.
Second time here in the second half that we've seen Cameron Shaw get dispossessed by Warren Murray's spin move. 1st and 10 here for Baltimore. From the 29, they're going to elect to try and take as much time off the clock as possible. They go to T. Roy Gaines up the middle. Fullback dive only gets them 1.
And not a bad effort from Baltimore here to kind of shed as much clock as possible, because now once they get to probably 4th down and that kick, we might be heading to 2-minute warning territory. So this is a very prime, opportune place for Baltimore here to shed clock.
Baltimore might look for another screenplay here on 2nd down. Clock will tick under the 3-minute mark. As here we go. Wigmore near side finds Murray. Murray gets escorted out of bounds by David Ware. That will stop the clock for the moment.
Yeah, that's a benefit for Tulsa here, because now they'll have a little bit more time. If they can stop them on this 3rd and 2, which they've done okay throughout this game. Not great, not spectacular, but okay. They've done well enough to limit Baltimore and stay in this football game, but they need one more 3rd down play. This has to be the biggest 3rd down defensive play for Tulsa in this game so far.
To this point, you are correct, partner. Currently a 5-point game. A field goal would only make it an 8-point game. Still manageable for the Desperados. Gonna go with a run up the middle. It's T. Roy Gaines. 1st down, Gaines to the 15-yard line, and the clock will run.
And there's the best case scenario for Baltimore. They are getting the 1st down and into the red zone, which is going to be big for them as well, because no matter what now, they're going to get themselves at least 3 points. But now they're threatening for 6, which, like I said, could ice things for Baltimore.
They're in prime opportunity to start taking away Tulsa's timeouts after the 2-minute warning. And up through the middle, nothing doing. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Murray couldn't get anything done. David Ware and company in on the stop. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning from Sports Gamers Online Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The Vultures up by 5. Tulsa's defense trying to get the ball back in their offense to try and maybe come away with something. Maybe a victory. Maybe extra football. We'll find out when we come back. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Twitch. Two minutes to go here in regulation. I formation for the Vultures coming out of the break. 2nd and 10. Hand off to Murray through the middle. Finds a hole and taken down at the 10-yard line by Nate Heslop, and Tulsa will call it timeout.
And now, it feels like I'm a broken record by saying this again, but I have to emphasize this point. The biggest 3rd down opportunity for Tulsa to stop Baltimore, force a field goal, making an 8-point game. So they only have to worry about one drive, one score. This is the game, Tulsa. You need to step up.
I wonder if Baltimore's going to look to throw here. They are. Pass. Back in the end zone. Pick to the end zone. Cameron Shaw with the biggest pick of the game. And it's another red zone interception for Tulsa.
And the worst case scenario for Baltimore is to get no points in this scenario, because now Tulsa with the interception has a minute 53 to get 80 yards down to the end zone. And you just saw their last drive. They worked wonders to get themselves a score from Sonzo Robinson. Now they need to carry this momentum to get a score, and even if they miss the extra point, they could be up 1.
Only a 5-point ball game. Here in the fourth quarter, Q, pass over the middle, caught by Hume. Tulsa have 2 timeouts. They got 9 yards on that last play. They're back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, good formation. You got trips to the right. Any one of these receivers can work out.
Flat pattern over the middle will find Mr. Money himself. Gabriel Manning for the first down to the Tulsa 43. Still plenty of time. Minute 30 and ticking. They'll run it again. Pass, deep shot, right side, pick it away! And stacking paper takes it away, and he's still going inside the 30.
Oh, man.
Finally brought down by Jim Copeland Jr. at the 25. And it's from a drive that might have saw Tulsa come away with something. They throw it away.
Yeah, and that one, unfortunately, I felt that was just trademark, just telegraphed for Ben Stackenpaper to get that interception, because he played the receiver so well. He was basically tit for tat with them the entire time. And a one-on-one battle with Corey Jones can be 50-50 sometimes. And with Ben Stackenpaper being just in front of him, that was prime interception territory. Now Baltimore can kind of breathe easy a little bit here.
Also only have 2 timeouts. This is a play we've seen Baltimore on a screenplay in, which they do. Murray taken down deep in the backfield. It's a loss of 2. Great tackle from Swift. Tulsa called their second of 3 timeouts.
Yeah, but with $1:14 left, they're not going to have a lot of time. If everything falls perfect for Tulsa, if Baltimore doesn't throw another interception, knock on wood, if everything falls right for Tulsa, they're not going to have a lot of time with the football back, I don't think.
They're on 2nd and 12. Wigmore brings his troops to the line in what looks to be a running formation. Clock stands at a minute 14. Hand up the middle for T-Roy Gaines. Got a nice hole and is taken down at the 21. We'll get 6 yards on the fullback dive as Tulsa will call their 3rd and final timeout.
And now, biggest third down of this game here. You need them to stop, because at this point, it's easy field goal range for Shark Tarkington, and he could end up being 6 for 6. They're gonna go victory formation, or not victory formation. Sorry, is it?
They will go victory formation. They will say to Tulsa, we're going to kick a field goal. You'll have roughly 20 some odd seconds to make something happen. And if Tarkington can hit this field goal, it's an 8-point game, and Tulsa will have to march down the field and make a 2-point conversion along with a touchdown.
Man, what a gutsy call from Baltimore going with that, because with Tulsa receivers getting red hot in this second half, whew, that's pretty gutsy, I'd say.
Tarkington's been money tonight. This one from 39 and the right hash. Snap, spot. Kick is up, and it is good from 39 yards out. 8-point ball game, 32-24. Tulsa will have just around 30 seconds after the kick return to come back in this game. They've done well to get back to this point. Now they need a little bit of magic. A little bit of Tulsa, Oklahoma pride is on the line tonight. Baltimore, with a win, would make it 26 home victories in a row and would also clinch the Atlantic Division. Tulsa, with a win tonight, would keep their Central Division title hopes alive as Manning gets the return of the 26. They will have 24 seconds and 74 yards to Pater.
Yeah, and there is no doubt what Tulsa's going to do here. Throw deep. They cannot go short and try to tic-tac themselves down the field. They just won't have enough time. You need to get yourself a deep shot, and I'm thinking Gabriel Manning's the guy, and they're bunching up. This could be dangerous for Baltimore.
If Manning gets loose, look out. Deep shot. Looking for Manning. Got it. First down across the 50.
They got to hurry
down
up.
47. They're hurrying back to the line to try and spike the football. Under 15 seconds to go. Q still trying to get up there. 10 seconds to go. Finally, we'll snap it with 8 seconds to go. Make that 9 officially on the clock.
That's not too bad of a play there. They'll maybe have 2 plays out of this if the first play doesn't work. This one has to be your money play. there has to be your guy, and it's got to be Gabriel Manning again. He got himself open on that. He's had a little bit of time to rest. You got to go his way one more time.
They're going to go for the Hail Mary. Here with 8 seconds to go. Hughes going to be back to pass. Steps up. Fires it deep into the air. It comes down for a tip, and it falls incomplete. Baltimore are your Atlantic Division champions. 32-24, the final score from SGO Stadium.
And man, you have to think to themselves that they got away with this one, because Tulsa finally, it felt like they finally cracked the code on things despite Douglas Brown being out of this game, and with them having essentially no running game, they finally found a way to crack that Baltimore code and get themselves back. It felt like at one stage it was going to be just all Baltimore. They were up 21-7, if I'm not mistaken, at one point in this game, and it just felt like it was impossible for Tulsa to come back. And then their passing offense came alive, and that's how Tulsa got back into this game. A valiant effort from Tulsa, unfortunately, sets them back at 6-5, where they have to go must win next week, whereas Baltimore, they can rest easy. They are guaranteed at least the 2 seed going into the playoffs, so they have an automatic bye. But you know what would feel better for them? Number 1 seed and home field throughout the playoffs, which they still have a very slim chance in getting.
And so that Central Division is still wide open after tonight's festivities. Minnesota and Sioux Falls sit at 7-4. Tulsa's back to 6-5. They need a win, Tulsa does, versus Sioux Falls in a Minnesota loss. I think that would claim Tulsa the Central Division title. Minnesota with a win, Sioux Falls with a loss. That would see Minnesota clinch the Central Division title. Sioux Falls would need a win and a Minnesota loss to clinch the title, or even just a win for Sioux Falls flat out clinches Sioux Falls the division title. What a game, partner. The Tulsa Desperados come all the way back. They fight hard, but ultimately cannot make it happen. A clutch interception in the back of the end zone from Cameron Shaw leads to a stack and paper clutch pick on the far sideline, which really put the game almost out of reach for Tulsa.
Yeah, and you can see there it was key interceptions in the end zone for Tulsa to come back in this game, with Cameron Shaw and Nate Heslip getting interceptions. And there you see the stack and paper interception that got them all the way down to inside, practically in red zone area. But Tulsa did well to stop them and force a Tarkington field goal. He was 6 of 6 tonight. Plenty of work from him, and I credit the 0 people that picked him in fantasy that got, the points out of him. That's a miss on all of our parts there. It's probably one of the reasons why I'll probably still be 19th after that week. But nonetheless, Tulsa fighting with every effort that they can, and they fall just short. Great work from Baltimore. Congratulations on another division victory for them.
And so your player of the game in the game that clinches Baltimore the Atlantic Division is Jack Wigmore. 31 of 47, 328 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. What a game for Baltimore. For Justin Reside, Tristan Hatley in stats, and for my partner Brett Solberg in the booth, I'm Tyler Falk. We will see you for Week 14 in a couple of days. Until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Video.